If you are over 60 and walking every day to lower your blood pressure, there is a silent habit you are doing right now that might force your heart to work twice as hard while you sleep. I know that sounds backward, but after decades as a cardiovascular specialist across the United States, I have seen too many wonderful people show up for their health, only to face a sudden emergency. Your daily walk is your moment of peace. That is why you deserve to know the truth about habit number 9. Walking without enough hydration. It sounds normal to leave your water behind because you do not feel thirsty. But as we get older, our thirst signal fades. You might feel perfectly fine, unaware that your fluid levels are dropping fast. When you are dehydrated, your blood becomes thicker and heavier. It acts more like thick syrup moving through an old garden hose. Imagine your heart trying to pump that thick fluid while you are fast asleep. It forces your heart to work overtime and quietly increases your risk. Consider a retired senior who walked 2 miles every morning. One warm day, he skipped his water thinking it was a short distance. He woke up the next morning, unable to lift his hand. It was just quiet dehydration during a walk. The fix is simple. Drink 6 to 8 ounces of water before you walk, and take small sips during your walk. Have you ever gone for a walk without bringing water? Type the number 1 in the comments below if you have, now that you have your water ready. What comes next will surprise you, because habit number 8 involves something we usually associate with health and energy. Sunlight. Habit number 8 is walking under strong direct sunlight. Many older adults believe midday sun is always good for you because it boosts your mood. But if you are over 60 and managing high blood pressure, walking under harsh sun can quietly work against you. This is not about fear. It is about understanding how your blood vessels change with age. Strong ultraviolet exposure causes tiny amounts of inflammation in the lining of your blood vessels. It stiffens them and makes your blood flow less flexible. When this combines with the mild dehydration we just talked about, your nighttime cardiovascular risk rises quietly. Consider a retired nurse in Florida who loved walking at noon for energy. One afternoon, she felt unusually drained with a dull headache. The next morning, she woke up unable to find the right words. Her speech was tangled, just from the quiet stress of the midday sun. The good news is you can easily adjust this without giving up the joy of being outside. Choose morning light between 7 and 10, or evening light after 5. Wear a wide brim hat and lightweight long sleeves. These simple changes protect your heart and keep your blood flowing smoothly. Do you usually walk in the early morning or during the midday sun? Type morning or midday in the comments below, so I can understand what time you feel safest outside. What comes next may surprise you because habit number 7 involves a tradition almost every American family does without a second thought: walking. Right after a heavy meal. You have probably heard your whole life to go take a walk because it helps with digestion. And while that might be true for younger adults, it works entirely differently when you are over 60 and managing high blood pressure. Your body does not respond the same way it did at 40. After a heavy meal, your body redirects a massive amount of blood down to your stomach to help you digest. But when you combine that with a brisk walk, your heart has to fight to pump blood to both your stomach and your legs at the same time. Think of it like trying to water your front lawn and your back lawn at the exact same time, with low water pressure. The flow becomes weak. For older adults, this causes a temporary dip in blood flow to the brain and creates a sudden swing in blood pressure that quietly raises your nighttime cardiovascular risk. Consider a lovely grandmother from Cleveland. Sunday dinners were her favorite family tradition, with roast chicken, mashed potatoes, and warm bread. After every meal, she would step out for her usual 20-minute neighborhood walk, because she loved feeling active. But one evening, After a particularly heavy dinner, she felt a strange lightness in her head. Not dizziness exactly, but like her body was working much harder than it should. She brushed it off, finished her walk, and went to bed early. At 3 in the morning, she woke up struggling to speak clearly. It was not dramatic, and it was not her fault. It is simply how circulation changes with age. The good news is that you do not have to stop walking. You only need to time it differently. Wait 45 to 90 minutes after eating. Let your body digest first. Start with a gentle pace, and split your meals into smaller portions if dinner tends to be heavy. These small adjustments protect your blood vessels instead of stressing them. Do you usually walk right after dinner? Type yes or no in the comments below, so I can understand your habits and guide you better. What comes next may surprise you even more, because habit number 6 has nothing to do with food. It has to do with the time of night you choose to step outside. Habit number 6 is walking late at night. On the surface, this feels completely harmless. You might enjoy the cool evening air after a long day, or the quiet neighborhood streets. But for adults over 60 managing high blood pressure, this peaceful routine carries a hidden challenge. Late in the evening, your nervous system is supposed to slow down to prepare for deep rest. But a brisk walk after 8 at night does the exact opposite. It activates your sympathetic system, which raises your heart rate and tightens your blood vessels. Instead of resting, your body enters a mild state of alert. This causes a sudden swing in blood pressure. That disrupts the deep circulation your brain depends on while you sleep. Consider a retired mechanic from Texas who loved his late evening walks. One summer night, he walked his usual route around 9:30. He felt his heart beating harder than usual, but brushed it off. The next morning, he woke up unable to smile on one side of his face. It was not his fault. It was simply a mismatch between timing and aging physiology. The good news is you can fix this easily. Choose an afternoon or early evening walk between 4 and 7. If you must walk later, slow your pace and give yourself 45 minutes to unwind before going to bed. What comes next? Habit number 5 surprises almost everyone, because it has nothing to do with the time of day you walk. It has to do with your posture and how the position of your head affects the flow of blood. Habit number 5 is walking with poor posture, head down and shoulders rounded. It seems small and completely harmless. The hardest part is that many older adults do it simply because they want to feel safe. You want to watch your steps and avoid falling. I understand that deeply. But if you are over 60 and managing high blood pressure, the position of your neck matters more than most people realize. When your head tilts forward even just a few inches, it changes how blood flows through your carotid arteries, the main highways bringing oxygen to your brain. Imagine trying to water your garden with a hose that has a gentle kink in it. The water still moves, but the pressure changes and the flow becomes uneven. For older adults, even a small reduction in steady blood flow can quietly raise nighttime cardiovascular risk. Consider a retired mail carrier from Colorado who loved walking, but looked straight down at his feet the entire time. Years of delivering mail made him cautious. One afternoon, he felt a sudden wave of weakness wash over him, but it passed quickly. He ignored it. That night, he woke up with a brief frightening moment where his speech slurred. It was not dramatic, just reduced circulation caused partly by chronic forward head posture during his long daily walks. The beautiful thing is that this habit is incredibly easy to correct. Lift your gaze 10 to 15 feet ahead. Relax your shoulders and let your arms swing naturally. If balance worries you, use walking poles. They offer great support and protect your spine. What comes next? Habit number 4 might surprise you even more, because it is not about your posture at all. It is about the weather. Habit number 4 is walking in extreme heat or high humidity. Many older adults underestimate this, especially those who have lived in warm states their whole lives. You might feel like your body is already used to it. But for people over 60 managing high blood pressure, this habit can quietly work against your heart. Aging changes how your body deals with temperature. High humidity keeps sweat from evaporating, trapping heat inside. You lose fluid faster than you realize. When this silent dehydration mixes with heat stress, your blood thickens. The flow becomes slower and highly resistant, raising your nighttime cardiovascular risk. Consider a retired firefighter from Florida. He was strong and never scared of the heat. On one very humid afternoon, he went out for his regular walk. He felt a little thirsty, but ignored it. At 2 a.m, he woke up with his left leg numb and heavy. It was not a sudden trauma. It was simply heat stress causing slow nighttime circulation. The hopeful part is you can keep walking by simply walking smarter. Choose early mornings before the heat builds. Bring water, even if you do not feel thirsty. If the air feels like steam, switch to an indoor walk. What comes next? Habit number 3 might surprise you even more, because it has nothing to do with the weather. It has to do with something many older adults do out of independence and pride: walking alone. Many older adults prefer it. You enjoy the quiet, the privacy, the chance to think without interruption. Your daily walk may be your moment of peace. I respect that deeply. But if you are over 60 and managing high blood pressure, this habit carries a hidden risk. It is not about your pace or your posture. It is about having someone there to notice the early warning signs of cardiovascular distress that you might not feel yourself. Many seniors never feel the early signs. They appear briefly then vanish. A sudden imbalance, a moment of slurred speech, or a flash of blurred vision. These are tiny warnings your body sends out before your nighttime risk quietly increases. Consider a retired veteran from Oregon who walked the same forest trail every morning. He loved the quiet and felt completely grounded. One morning, halfway down the trail, he stumbled slightly. A few minutes later, his vision blurred for just a moment. He paused, rested, and the symptoms faded. He finished his walk alone and felt perfectly fine that evening. But the next morning, he woke up confused and unable to speak clearly. The truth is simple. When you walk alone, there is no one there to see the signs you might miss. The hopeful part is you do not have to give up your independence to stay safe. Bring a walking buddy, or join a neighborhood walking group. Carry a fully charged phone with emergency contacts ready. Even a medical alert bracelet helps tremendously. These small steps protect your heart without taking away your freedom. What comes next? Habit number 2 might surprise you even more, because it is not about who you walk with. It is about something you put on before you step outside, often without thinking twice. Your footwear. Habit number 2 is wearing the wrong shoes, or socks that are too tight. Most older adults think shoes are just shoes. If they feel comfortable enough, they must be fine. But if you are over 60 and managing high blood pressure, this everyday walking habit can quietly work against your heart in ways most seniors never hear about. Your circulation changes with age. What used to feel perfectly harmless can now create hidden pressure points or cause slow-moving blood in your lower legs. Many seniors wear stiff shoes for support or pull on tight compression socks hoping to stop ankle swelling. But stiff shoes and overly tight socks can actually slow down the blood trying to return to your heart. Picture water settling in the bottom of a partially clogged pipe. It still moves, but slowly and unevenly. For older adults, that slow flow quietly increases the risk of a small blood clot forming, which raises your nighttime cardiovascular risk. Consider a retired librarian from California who loved her daily walks. One summer she bought a new pair of walking shoes online. They were slightly stiff, but she thought they offered good support. She also wore tight compression socks to prevent swelling. After a long afternoon walk, her legs felt incredibly heavy, almost like they were filled with wet sand. She ignored it, thinking she was just tired. That night she woke up with sharp pain in her calf, caused by a deep blood clot. She meant well and thought she was doing the right thing. It is not your fault when these things happen. It is just how aging circulation responds to pressure. The hopeful part is this habit is incredibly easy to fix. Choose walking shoes that bend easily at the toe and offer a soft midsole. Avoid socks that squeeze your calves too tightly. If you notice mild swelling, simply elevate your legs for 10 minutes after your walk. These simple changes keep your blood flowing smoothly and protect your heart. Have you ever felt foot or leg discomfort after a long walk? Type yes or no in the comments below, so I can understand what walking tips matter most to you. And now we reach habit number 1. The most important, the most overlooked, and the one that plays a role in more than half of early morning cardiovascular emergencies. It is not a single habit. It is a combination. Walking while dehydrated late in the evening, and doing it while taking common medications like blood pressure pills or diuretics. Each piece alone might seem harmless, but together, for someone over 60 managing high blood pressure, they create a perfect storm. Late walks raise your heart rate, dehydration thickens your blood, and diuretics pull even more water out of your system. This dangerous slowdown in circulation happens at the exact time your brain and heart are supposed to be resting and restoring. Consider a retired music teacher from North Carolina who wanted to stay active. He took his diuretic in the afternoon and went for a brisk walk at 8:30 at night. He felt thirsty but ignored it. By 4:30 the next morning, he woke up struggling to speak. He thought he was doing everything right. It is simply a quiet mismatch of timing and medication. The hopeful part is you can fix this today. Walk earlier between 4 and 7 in the evening. Drink 6 to 10 ounces of water before stepping outside. And ask a doctor how your specific medications affect your hydration. Slow your pace if you must walk at night. To sum everything up, protecting your heart is not about giving up your daily walk or living in fear. It is about making tiny adjustments, drinking water, looking forward, timing your meals, and wearing the right shoes. Your body is still strong, capable of change, and ready to heal. You just need to walk smarter. Which of these 9 habits surprised you the most? Type the number in the comments below so we can keep learning together. Your health is still worth protecting, one step at a time.